Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center, and welcome to the world of magic and miracles. It's great to be here. It's great to be able to connect and to pass on, to give and to receive in this platform. We're all delivering all the time, but in a big, big way through that part of us that sits at the right hand of the Creator. That part of us is always delivering something for the upliftment of humanity. And we are the vessel for the delivery of that transmission. Whether we speak or smile or look into someone's eyes or even walk past unnoticed, the message is being delivered. We don't really have to try. And in this human aspect of ourselves, even though we're also keenly aware of messages that we're delivering, we are also here to expand and grow. So many of the circumstances that enter our life are for that very purpose. Most times, people may not be able to hear your message, but that's not the purpose of its delivery. If God sent an angel to tell me to amputate my foot, and the angel came and told me, stood in front of me, and I said, I'm not doing that. And the angel would go back to God and say, he didn't receive your message. And God would say, what makes you think he didn't receive it? And what makes you think it was about amputating his foot? You were just sent to give a message. You may not even know what it's all connected to. Most of us, I should say all of us, have trouble receiving from others because we're sovereign. If someone comes up to me and says, you have $10,000 in your bank account, I might be open to receiving that. But if they say, you have some things that need moving out of your life, it may be a different story. None of us have received fully. So we give space and we allow and we watch and see what the message is truly about. So some of us have come as a thorn to stick in people's side. Some have come as a sword, a scalpel, some a piece of putty to absorb. Each of us are delivering that thing unaware to ourselves in this physical dimension. And so we do that all the time. And we don't need to consider from this human aspect any expectation or any result for anything. It's all happening perfectly as it has for me, and it has it as it has for you. So it is with that context that I share these words with you now. Abundance only exists because of lack, and lack only exists because of abundance. Good health only exists because of bad health, and bad health only exists because of good health. When we are so-called wealthy, we never think about abundance or lack. But when we are so-called poor, we think about abundance and lack all the time. Each thing has its opposite. When we are seeing our current state as negative, so the greatest gift that I can give you is the gift from seeing opposites, which can only be achieved by seeing your current station in life as perfect, not in abundance and not in lack, not in so-called good health or not in so-called bad health, for these are fleeting and they will change with the wind, so that from any of the so-called negative places like lack and bad health, you only focus on abundance and good health, which means you have to continue to focus on lack and bad health. Perfection is the only escape from opposites. And perfection, seeing yourself not as one or the other, is the only true freedom that you can ever find. It is not fleeting and will never cause you to focus on anything to fix or resolve, but instead you will find yourself lifted above all focusing of your station and circumstances. This is not the perfect as the world sees perfect, but the perfect that holds no attachment to outcomes of the physical life and allows change to come to them upon the flow without resistance, but with curiosity and openness. This is the perfection that exists in the person that loses all their belongings in an earthquake or flood or fire and says, it's okay, it's just stuff. And it is from this perfection that you will be able to assist others and change the world. This is the perfect life with perfect health and a magic future that I want everyone to have. It is a perfect life, even when the circumstances say that it is not a perfect life. It is perfect health, even when the circumstances say that there is imperfect health. And it is a magic future, even when the circumstances want to tell you that there is no magic. If you can hold these truths within your being, you will truly know freedom. So even the opposites are playing their part in helping us reach perfection. the so-called bad and the so-called good, are giving you the opportunity to be above both sides, where there's freedom. This is called moving day. Find that place to sit back and watch the magic and the dance of life within the physical plane of a divine spirit. Watch it unfold as it turns left and right, goes up and down, and backwards and forwards as it unravels its destiny right before your eyes. If only you can sit back and watch. Watch without judgment, listen without criticism, and you will be invited to see the weaving of the thread of the divine eternal being that is standing right in front of you. The mirror is what's going to heal humanity and take them forward into the new world and a new way of being. When you begin to look into the mirror and see others in your face, you will start to understand what has always been true. This reflection and the recognition that it produces will dissolve all separation, which will eliminate all comparison, which will end all judgment, which will demolish all reaction. All of this just by simply looking in the mirror and seeing your neighbor in your face, seeing the person you have a judgment of and have reacted to in your face. In this simple moment, you will release all programs of hierarchy, all programs of we and them, us and they, good and bad, right and wrong. This is the freedom you have longed for, and through this freedom, all humanity will be healed. No process and no method, just pure awareness, which leads to perfect knowing. We all have the ability to see the flaws and limitations of others, but in that moment, we can't see ourselves. In these moments, we become part of the system of we and they, us and them. A strategy that has worked for eons, for out of the same mouth that we say we are all one, we also say, but not you, or you, but maybe you, and almost you, and I'll accept you. We can't see the hypocrisy within ourselves because our identity is invested in being higher, better, more, righter, more awake, and more enlightened. All this just equals separation, not all being one. This program is rooted in every part of our lives, for competition and comparison are the roots of separation. We judge and compare food, clothes, hairstyles, movies, television shows, podcasts, literally everything we see with our human eyes. We clearly have the capacity to judge and compare through the human program of competition and comparison, which leads to separation. As a spirit with an understanding that we are all just drops of water in the ocean that is called Source, we see all the differences through our spirit eyes, and we celebrate the differences without judgment, without competition, and without comparing. So we all do both. We go back and forth between being governed by the human program of separation and the world of spirit, where we are all that drop of water in the ocean called Source. Therefore, we have one foot in each world, and this is the cause of most of our suffering. Once again, we all have the ability to see the flaws and limitations of others, and we just react from the program instead of having compassion through the recognition of our own flaws, which is the world of spirit. Even if the flaws need to be removed using more force, the force comes not to judge, compete, or to compare, but to move something, not to kill, throw out, or bury beneath humanity itself, but to move the energy that is out of alignment from that person's field so that they can see themselves again as they really are, that drop of water, just like you. There are beings and entities on this planet that are human and non-human and who have no thought of being loving or kind, have no conscience or caring, and have only come to hurt, kill, and destroy. Many or most of those entities have been removed from the planet, but there will always be a remnant as long as it is necessary for the expansion and growth of humanity itself. There is a level of that energy in each one of us, and it is too being removed from within each one. So how do you judge all of these matters? How do you reconcile that all are a drop of water in the ocean of source and at the same time judge something as outside of it? This requires that love that is not from here, that love without conditions. Could it be that there is a purpose for it all that you are not aware of? Could it be that this is all happening just for you, simply because you desire to know what love for someone or something without conditions feels like? And by this path is how you will come to know it. There are many possibilities for the existence of negative entities in our world, and this is just one. I am open to hear all of them, for that may be how I am to expand and grow. At this moment, all I can say I know is that there is one source that everything has come from, the so-called good, the so-called bad, the so-called ugly, because they have all been within me. I feel that love without conditions from that source, no matter what I do. Not forgiveness, for forgiveness means I did something wrong. But there is even something beyond what we know as love without conditions. It is simply a knowing of who and what each one of us are. And this our Creator knows without a doubt. We are seen, we are heard, we are loved, and we have always been looked after. This place called Earth that we have chosen to live on is a playground if we truly knew we were being looked after and that everything had been orchestrated and set in motion for our benefit. We would always be in play mode and always have a smile on our face. Nothing would ever be too serious. Not even death would be able to deter our joy, for we must always remember that we are eternal, never born and never died. And this is just the current costume that you have chosen to wear during this incarnation. Therefore, as it is said, O death, where is your sting? If only we could remember, we would be like the children we see on their little playgrounds, the ones with sliding boards and seesaws, monkey bars, and swings. Looked after, looked after. You have always been looked after. From the day of your conception until the day that you decide to change your form, from the day of your birth into this physical reality to where you are at this exact moment, and from all the moments that you would call joy to all the moments that you would call pain, you are looked after. For it is written, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body what you shall put on. This life is more than meat, and the body is more than clothes. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feeds them. How much more are you better than the fowls? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was never arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothe the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you? And seek not what you shall eat or what you shall drink, neither be you of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knows that you have need of these things. But rather first seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you. Fear not, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Know then that you have been like your Father in heaven, looking after every living thing and every morsel that is imbued with consciousness and breath of life. And it is in this moment of quiet stillness that you remember who you are and the greatest gift that you bring. It is the gift that is the foundation for the delivery of your magic. You've come here to look after life. Everything else derives from this one truth. In its simplicity is the clarity that can set each person free. Of course, this includes looking after yourself. But even when you are looking after yourself, you will most certainly be looking after the other. For it is through your well-being that a wellspring of life flows out to all life. Feel yourself now looking after this entire planet and all its inhabitants, then all planets and the galaxies that they exist in. You are the sun, a shining star that delivers love without conditions to all life. There is simply no other truth beyond these 8 simple words. You have come to look after all life. Know that I have now packed all my belongings and moved to the new world. The old world, the current world that is seen by most in the physical plane, has been surpassed. All the old ways of operating I have left. The old ways of thinking I have walked away from. All the things that are a part of the original program to keep me in forgetfulness, I have given up. I am no longer trying to fix this world, but by moving out of it and therefore surpassing it, I am providing a way for others to do the same if they so desire. This is not an abandonment of anything, but a quiet calling to detach from the old way and let its system and programs all fall apart. It is a step of epic proportions into the unknown, into the nakedness of not knowing what to say and not having a connection to your old identity and your old ways of operating. In a sense, simply going cold turkey. Hypersonic magic now will come back into the forefront, for the new grid and the new ley lines are the framework to hold and accept your new vibration and frequency. We are all moving to this place little by little every day as the parameters that we set for the world that we have created for ourselves and the reality that we live in continue to change at breakneck speed. As the rules and the laws within our realities change, as our beliefs change, as our desires, dreams, and goals change, so too does the place that we choose to live in. It is a natural progression at varying rates of speed for each unique individual. It is simply our gift to ourselves to follow a path or destiny that gives us joy and fulfills that thing inside of us that is pushing us to be what we came to be and do what we came to do. Cheers to us all, my beloved friends, travelers, and change makers. No matter what you are going through, know that you are always looked after. And I sing this song. Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the east side. We finally got our piece of the pie. The programs that kept you believing that you didn't know what's real took a whole lot of remembering just to get up that hill. But now we're up in the big leagues, getting our turn at bat. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Yeah, we're moving on up to the new world. We finally left the old world behind. Cheers, everybody. Keep moving on up, keep going. Thank you for listening. You have everything you need always to have a perfect life with perfect health and a magic future. I am David.